now, the Football Euro 2024 Football Cup is taking place. And for our American viewers out there, yes, I said football, and I didn't even stutter. Now, for more information, we're bringing in an expert commentator, Piotr Sobczyński, a journalist and commentator from TVP Sport. Hello, sir, and welcome to TVP World.
Good morning.
Now, this is a very exciting event going in, but a lot of people are saying that this might not be the best matchup for Poland. Can you break that down for us?
You mean the game against the Netherlands, right?
Of course.
Well, we are the underdogs in this tournament at this starting point. You have to admit that after a very miserable qualification round, and it just came as a big surprise that we are there at all. We qualified through playoffs against Wales that ended dramatically in a penalty shootout. So it might have gone both ways. Now we knew exactly what group we are going to qualify to with extremely strong teams such as the Netherlands, France and Austria, who are doing fine at international level these days. So the task is very difficult, and the initial game against the Netherlands is no less difficult than any other one. We have lots of experience playing this team in recent years in the Nations League, and we know the strength of the Dutch team. The trouble is that at this very moment, a number of Polish players ply their trade in good European clubs. Now, the Dutch players also play at the top level in even better clubs, and that's the edge, that's the advantage. In football, theory is one thing, and what happens on the pitch is the other one. So let's see what happens.
Right, and I think that's what makes the sport so exciting. However, we do know that there's also some variables going into this particular match, being a lot of injuries when it comes to these players. How do you think that's going to affect the match going forward?
Injuries are always an issue in football, especially at this level. So the obvious thing is that Robert Lewandowski is going to sit out this game. The Dutch also have some players missing, but I don't think this is going to affect the overall image. I think the selected players, apart from the big stars missing, will supply a really good level of the game. So it's the overall level of the national team playing at a tournament like this is going to determine the final score.
Right. I think we do tend to focus on the star players, but like you mentioned, sometimes it is actually how the team plays that is more important. So let's take a step back and zoom out, looking at the entire event. Do you think there are any teams that you would consider a dark horse of this race, or do you think the matchup will go pretty much as predicted?
You know, judging from the first days that are behind us, you can hardly see any dark horses, because the hot favorites were the ones who won it, and who won it convincingly. Germany in the opening game against Scotland were very, very strong. Spain, who played Croatia, not a feeble-hearted team, also did it excellently. They scored 3 goals without conceding any. And it just repeats in every game. Italy, who were in trouble in the initial minutes of their match against Albania, also came out victorious. So judging from the beginning of this tournament, which is now counting 24 teams, which is about a half of all European teams, and that's quite a lot. You should count on the hot favorites rather than the dark horses.
Right. And what about the grouping? Would you say that this particular grouping in this cycle around helps or kind of disadvantage most of the teams going forward?
Well, the level of European football is tending to equalize at many, in many areas. Of course, there are the powerhouses like England, Germany, France, Italy, Spain. And there is a number of, let's say, up-and-coming teams like Austria, like Poland, let's say, like Slovenia, Serbia, and so on. And whenever the teams from both groups clash, there is some potential for an unexpected result. And I think that there's even more to it when the groups from the second group face each other. And you could see that yesterday when Switzerland played Hungary. So that's where the interesting things may happen or might happen, let's say.
All right, now just taking a slight different turn, we are also interested in the situation when it comes to security. As we know that Germany, in preparation to the leading up to this event, have been amping up its border security check. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, that's the common policy these days. Whenever there's something big going on in your country, especially a football tournament, which is occupying almost the entire territory, to enforce the security, especially in border zones, to avoid any terrorist group entering without control. There's also an issue of football fan violence, which has to be taken into account. And there were some signals that in Hamburg, where we play Netherlands this afternoon, the police security measures were strengthened up because they knew they had their leaks about the possible trouble coming from both Dutch and Polish ultras. So far, nothing like that happened. And looking at this tournament, which comes 18 years after the World Cup in Germany, I have this impression of the tournament being a spitting image of that one, which I had a privilege of attending. And the world has changed. There's more digital quality to it. There's more digital communications, but the tournament and the atmosphere looks very much the same.
All right. Thank you so much for your input. And of course, we'll be keeping an eye out for your report when it comes to this particular event. Meanwhile, thank you so much for being with us on TVP World.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.